Hey, my name is Drew, and I've been coming to Ridgepoint for about a year. I'm a lieutenant in the United States Air Force, and that's how I found my way to Wichita. And in the past couple of months, I've been serving on staff at Ridgepoint as a resident.
Hey, I'm Nathan. This is my wife, Amy, and we've been coming to Ridgepoint for about 10 years.
Hi, my name is Becky Spar. I've gone to Ridgepoint most of my life. Right now I have the opportunity to be on staff 1 day a week as a resident, just learning what it's like to work in a church.
We are Brent and Natalie Ayersman. We've been married for just over 2 years, and so that's about how long we've gone to Ridgepoint together as a married couple.
I think for me, what I need in a church is, first and foremost, a place that leads me to the presence of Jesus. Also for me specifically, as a single woman who actually happens to have some leadership and ministry capacity, I'm looking for a place that will invest in me and in my gifts and give me opportunities to lead.
I want a place where people who are more mature in their faith are feeding into me. Then I also want a place where I can go and discuss my own spiritual life with other people who are in a similar stage of life as me.
So for me, I really want a community with young moms because it's so different raising kids now than it was when we were growing up. Just knowing how to raise kids in this day and age is really important to me.
What we need from church is, I think, first and foremost, a really strong sense of community, a place where we feel like we can go and we belong and we fit in.
Something we've always wanted at a church is a place to grow, and I can really see a lot of growth in Ridgepoint. We also want somewhere that is steadfast in its beliefs and somewhere that is not afraid to say the truth about the Bible.
For my friends outside of the church, society, media, the political climate even expects so much out of you. And I think so many people just want a place where they can just be themselves and be accepted where they are.
A lot of our friends that don't go to a church, they're looking for that sense of community and friendship, but I think they're also looking for just a place of hope that they can come, and there's so much in our news that can drag you down. So I think a place where people can come and feel encouraged and hopeful is really important for our generation.
I think a lot of people who are my age and are single still feel like the church is waiting on us to grow up. And I think so much of what we've been taught growing up is your life starts when you get married, and your single years are used for preparing for marriage. But if I'm never going to get married, I don't want to have had wasted like these 29 years of my life not using my gifts.
I think my friends who don't go to church anywhere would need somewhere that was very accepting, not necessarily accepting of sin, but just accepting of where everybody's at in their life.
I think a lot of my friends outside the church now, most of them have actually probably had church in their past, and most of them probably had either a negative experience or not enough of a positive experience to merit them coming now.
They know about God. I don't think they're offended by God as an idea, but I do think the stereotypical Christian that's in the media is offensive to them. I think it would require earning some trust, or just, making it feel like a safe place for people to go who have no idea what's going to happen on a Sunday morning.
I would say one of the biggest stereotypes about church people is they're judgmental, and obviously that's not where we should be coming from, in my opinion. I think we should be coming from a position of love and acceptance, and I'm just kind of letting them know that, hey, we're here to live life with you, and I think it's important that they know that. And it's hard to get people to kind of get to that point unless you have a good relationship with them.
Part of it is some people's hearts are so callous to the idea of religion, especially with all of the political angst lately that is, religious in nature sometimes. that it's hard to get them in the door of something even remotely close to that. And so if we can demonstrate that what we are doing here is different, that we're genuinely about loving other people as Christ has loved us, I think that we could really fill a need for a lot of people who are looking for something different.
There's a standard that our generation has had to live up to social media, and we have all these comparisons that you have to be a certain mom or be a certain dad, or so I think our generation tries to just show people that grace and give them an opportunity to be real and not just have this sort of fake persona that we put out on the internet that we hope people believe.
I think something that I see in common amongst, my peers is that we're longing for purpose.
I think our generation is searching for meaning, maybe more so than any other generation has ever had to. And I think a lot of people struggle with so many things: depression, anxiety, fear, and just not really knowing where to go to find that answer. Somebody who is unchurched that is looking for those things would need to feel like they could bring all of that to the table, all of their anxiety, all of the things they have going on to their lives, be able to bring it with them, because there's not a lot of places you can go to get rid of that kind of stuff in a healthy way.
Yeah, something I think that people my age need is just to be in a place that's saturated with truth and stability. We live in a society, in a time that is kind of this you do you. There's no firm foundation, there's no truth, it's all relative. And so I think coming to a place like Ridgepoint that's really firm on biblical truth is really just important and valuable.
I think one thing that unchurched people our age might enjoy from church is a sense of what is right or wrong, in a world where any amount of things might seem right or okay. Kind of coming to church and seeing, oh, well, this is what is actually right. This is the absolute truth. I think that's something that is also important that unchurched people wouldn't get somewhere else.
I would say, kind of after you graduate college, you're still trying to figure out life.
And I think I can speak on behalf of my friends when I say this too, that we don't know what we're doing in life, in our faith, and our relationships, and anything. And Google can't tell us everything that we need to know either.
Our generation is a very collaborative generation. We want mentors, we want counselors, we want people more mature in their faith to come alongside us and build us up so that we can be the most effective people that we can be, the most efficient people that we can be.
Mentorship for someone like me just looks like friendship with someone who's lived a little bit longer than I have. I think I look at Ridgepoint and I see a lot of even just like really successful career-minded people who have a lot to offer people my age, both in and outside of this church.
Having other groups that can teach life skills or how to handle life situations is so important. And I don't think, that churches focus on that enough. I know Britt and I have been a part of the, financial, marriage, like whatever the church could give us, we will take it.
I think something that people my age really value is authenticity. And so when it comes to a big flashy service or like loud dancey worship music, I think sometimes that can come off as fake or a performance.
Smaller might actually be better in a lot of cases for my generation who wants that more intentional, focused, relationship-oriented, genuine relationships within the church. I can watch sermons, listen to podcasts whenever I want, but I feel like the real growth happens when I can come along other people and discuss these ideas and how the Holy Spirit's speaking to us.
One of Brent and I's biggest things that we want to show everyone that we interact with is just kindness and community and just bringing people into our lives and just accepting them and creating that safe space that we hope at some point opens a conversation about Jesus and that we can reflect Jesus in our lives that way. I think that is one of the biggest blessings that we can provide and that we have. is being able to show people what church can be outside of the walls of the actual building of church. Like we can show people Jesus in a new way, I guess.
I feel like it's really important for our generation to show that Christianity is still relevant in everyday life. It's not just for grandma and grandpa who went to church wearing a suit and a tie and, you know, the nicest dress that they have or something like that. Christianity is still relevant. It's still important to us. And we feel it's so important that we live it out in our day-to-day life, showing people our age that it's not scary. It's not just a bunch of rules. It's important and it's heartfelt and it's meaningful for us, for our life.
The obstacle to overcome to get people from my generation to buy in is steep. But if we can make that happen, if we can be intentional with it, then their investment back into what they've signed up for, from what I've seen, is very high. It's what happened to me personally. I was looking for a church. I came here. I met several people who were passionate about what was going on here, and I really felt connected to the mission and the heart behind what was happening here. And so I came in and I immediately wanted to serve. I immediately wanted to get involved in whatever ways I could. There isn't a societal expectation for people to go to church anymore. And so if we can overcome that lack of an expectation, if we can motivate people to want to come every Sunday, then I think that the people who want to come to church but just haven't found that home yet, once they do, then their investment is very high.